Good morning. Hi. So most of you probably know me already, but I'm Kat. I'm the person that makes all the jewelry for Cat Bates Jewelry. Um, and yesterday, I launched a fundraiser campaign to raise money for a nonprofit called Invisible Children that's doing work in Sudan and more broadly in Central Africa. Um, and the way the fundraiser is set up is that I set a bunch of the sister clasp necklaces that I make. They're, a staple of my line. They're one of my least expensive pieces. Um, I set 50 of them at really high discounts, um, ranging in price from $20 to $40. They usually cost $55. So I think that's like a 20 or 25% even discount on the most expensive one of them. To more than 50% off. So trying to be really generous with it. And I am delighted to report that as of like 8 a.m. this morning, um, every single one of them had sold out. I woke up to messages from folks saying, "Hey, I want to participate, but I can't get a necklace. I can't add it to the cart, or there's none left at the more expensive tiers." It was really cool to see that the least expensive necklaces were the last to sell. I encouraged y'all to be generous, and you sure showed up. Um, I'm going to release some more necklaces on a condition. Before I get to that, I want to say something that I think is really relevant here. I am not well educated on this conflict. It's something that I learned about, embarrassingly recently, as I was learning about what's happening in occupied Palestine, and responding to that conflict, and trying to advocate for that. Just hearing like this isn't the only genocide that's taking place in the world, um, and so chose to focus on one of these other conflicts that, in some real valid, or I don't know, that's inelegant. Um, it's nasty. There's a lot of nastiness out there, and I strongly believe that everybody deserves safety and everybody deserves liberty. And if that comes at the expense of somebody else, then it's fake. We're not free until we're all free. So I want to acknowledge that I don't understand the complexity of this conflict. It's something that I need to educate myself more on, and I hope that you will be inspired to educate yourself on. Um, at the end of this video, I will read off some statistics and some information, but yeah, I just want to be clear that I claim no expertise on this. I am doing my best to raise money for a nonprofit that is well rated in terms of financial accountability, and that is working directly with community partners as opposed to just sending in aid. I think that local engagement is really important. So, um, from a let's have fun side of things, 50 necklaces have been purchased, and a bunch of people have also left tips, or excuse me, extra donations. I had one person drop $100 on extra donation. You know who you are. You rock. That's awesome. Way to model generosity. And so, yeah, as of this morning, $1,620 has been raised for Invisible Children. I am donating all of that money. I'm going to cover the credit card processing fees. I'm covering, the cost of the materials for the pieces. Between those two things, we're looking at around, I think, $200 or $300 in material costs and fees. I'm covering the labor of my employee that helps assemble the necklaces, and of course my own labor, dyeing the cordage, designing the pieces, and the day or two it's going to take me to pack all these up. Um, so super excited about that. God, I'm rambling here. But you're great. So you're still listening. Um, uh, so the awesome nuts and bolts. Okay. I've thought about how I want to raise more money. I love raising money. I feel really lucky to have this platform on which to do it. That being my business. And a reality is I also need to make money, to support myself and to be able to continue doing this. And so I thought about it a bunch, and what I'm going to do is this. Um, if you purchase jewelry at normal price from my website between now and I think it's a Monday of this coming week, when the fundraiser was originally scheduled to close, um, it will essentially count as a pledge. So you'll purchase the jewelry at normal price. It'll mail you at normal price. Blah blah blah. If you already ordered a necklace in this fundraiser, I'm going to send you a discount code via email so that you don't have to pay shipping on both. I'll just combine the shipping. But if you purchase at normal price, for every $100 of jewelry that's purchased at full price, I'll add two more necklaces at the $40 tier, so that more folks can participate in the fundraiser. And all of those proceeds from the fundraiser necklaces will, go to invisible children. I'll do my best to update it as they come in. I'm not promising to, like, as soon as someone drops $100, two more necklaces come up. I'm doing this on my own. The weekend's coming up, and I got to relax too. Um, but I will add those, and I will post updates about them coming in. Um, and if you want to, like, be just super duper duper, I will honor that for what's it? If anyone wants to just purchase those $5 contributions that don't come with a necklace, for every $100 of those sold between now and when this closes, again, I'm pretty sure that's Monday, I will count that as a pledge as well and add two more necklaces. So what's that work out to? If I get like $1,000 of sales between now and then, that'll come to another 20 necklaces. And 20 times 40, that'd be another $800 raised for invisible children, which would be super duper cool. Um, yeah, that feels like a good way to, recognize the realities of needing to make a living as a small business owner, and to you know just go above and beyond for this cause. And also, I've been thinking a lot about generosity in the global context, and how, I want to live in a world where borders are irrelevant, and um, everyone has liberty and safety wherever they live. And I think that to get there, it's going to require not just a change in how we operate and how we allow people to move around and how we extract resources, but a change in mentality. I think that becoming more generous as a species, and really learning to care for the people that we don't know, and the people that we disagree with, um, and just share like basic humanity. Um, Heck, even with animals, like, if we're being honest, like, let's not be cruel to them either. I'm not a vegetarian, but I think we all should be, if I'm being honest. Uh, Animals got feelings too. Like, you love your dog, right? They love you back, right? um, it's easy. Uh, yeah, so I want to model that, and I want to encourage you to model that, and everyone that's participated has certainly reinforced my belief in that possibility. So yeah, um, if you want to participate in this fundraiser, and there's no necklaces left, please consider just dropping $5 on one of those just pay $5 options on the page. Um, and or grab a piece of jewelry, and know that that's going to add more necklaces to the fundraiser. um, oh yeah, one last thing, on that concept of generosity. I find it just freaking delightful how being generous inspires me to be more generous. And I think this is a common phenomenon, because this really radical thing happens whenever I run a fundraiser. If you shopped on my website in the last couple of years, you may have noted the donation option at checkout. And I'll have, a nonprofit or a community group listed there, and I'll send money over them every like a couple months or so, just compile whatever's come in. Um, and it's pretty normal, every like 5 or 10 orders for someone to leave $5 or $20. Every now and then I'll get a bigger donation, and it's awesome. Like, every single time I see one of those tips, or sorry, it's listed as a tip, because that's how it's set up on my website, but I'm using it as a donation, um, or a way to raise funds. Uh, when I see those come in, it's like awesome. It's like, oh yeah, good in the world, yay. Um, when I run a fundraiser, the amount of people leaving tips skyrockets. So the current organization that I call that a tip again. Their donations, trust me, I can show you the receipts. Um, when I run a fundraiser like this, the number of donations skyrockets and the amount donated goes up as well, and it makes my heart swell. So along with that $1,620 that's been raised for Invisible Children, we've also gotten $147 donated to Project Relief, which is a Portland-based community group providing mutual aid and advocacy for people of color living in the community, immigrants or long-term residents. I've been a supporter of their work for a really long time, and am really proud to contribute to them. And it means the world to me um, that you join me in that. I'm sending those funds over. That feels great. But if they put out a call for need, whenever I can, will shoot 10 or $20 their way as well, just of my own money. So this has been really long. If you've listened to all of it, hot damn, I'm impressed. The basic details are in the description, but I felt like it was worth putting out a video version of this, just to, I don't know, I guess take accountability. It's a weird way to use the word accountability, but it's what it feels like. I want to be honest with y'all, and especially where I'm like tying additional necklaces donated to sales of my own work, which will profit me. It feels relevant. Um, I guess like oh yeah, on that accountability and like honesty and openness thing. So there's no surprises. I am retaining the cost of shipping on all these necklaces because I gotta. I can't afford to cover those hundreds and hundreds of dollars that's going to come to. We've got like almost 50 orders in so far at $6 a piece. Yeah, it's $300 of shipping. I can't afford to do that and run the fundraiser. So I am retaining that to pay for it. And the tax is going to go to the Maine state government. I'm not a nonprofit. There's just no way for me to work around that and keep this all legal. And taxes pay for roads. Like, I don't want my taxes used for bombs, which I know they also are. But I think that taxes in general is great because that's how, we support our community. That's how children have access to opportunity. We get around. So yes to taxes, yes to everyone paying more of them. All right. Soapbox done, I believe. Feel free to shoot me DMs if you have any questions. I hope we can get some more necklaces on there. I hope you're inspired to spread the word too. There's a lot of really valid causes that need support. This is one of them. Don't feel like you need to support this one if you just sent something to somebody else. Don't feel like I'm claiming this is the best one or anything like that. Oh, right. And I said I was going to share some data and information. So I'll start with the Invisible Children website. They are working across Central Africa. And specifically in resistance to the Lord's Resistance Army and Joseph Kony. This is, again, like way over my head, so I'm just going to read here from their website. Invisible Children partners with local peace builders across Central Africa to end violent conflict through locally led solutions. We were founded in 2004 to help end 2 decades of mass violence and child abductions by Joseph Kony and his Lord's Resistance Army, also known as the LRA, which was once considered, quote, the world's most neglected humanitarian crisis, end quote. After years of trailblazing international awareness campaigns, political advocacy, and on-the-ground community protection programs in areas of Central Africa facing active LAR violence, we have seen a 92% reduction in killings by the LRA and the peaceful deflection of dozens of LRA fighters, including senior leaders. The LRA is weaker than ever before, and hundreds of LRA captives are finally free. In 2021 alone, Invisible Children reunited 92 former LRA captives with their families. Okay, and let's just add a little bit more here. As LRA violence has reduced and other threats in Central Africa have emerged, we have dynamically adapted to meet the changing needs of Central African communities. We expanded our on-the-ground programs and conflict analysis to help local peace builders and their communities develop innovative ways to prevent violence and build sustainable peace. And these days, we work with talented Central African filmmakers in communities impacted by violence to help them tell their own stories and promote peace. Let's see. So we talked about 92 reunitions with families, which is amazing. They're also providing safe shelter and psychological care, which is really, really cool. I think that, promoting mental health in response to that trauma is really important for growth. And their advocacy campaigns have helped secure more than $40 million of U.S. government humanitarian aid to assist LRA-affected communities. Again, they're working all over Central Africa, and that includes South Sudan, which, this fundraiser has been specifically organized around the crisis that has unfolded there more recently. So, on the Sudanese crisis as of 2024, what's the crisis? This is from Operation Broken Silence. This is another nonprofit. I didn't choose them. I don't have any reason why not. I had to pick one, and Invisible Children was the one that I chose. But if you're interested in ways to contribute to peace in the region, Operation Broken Silence is another nonprofit that appears to be doing really awesome work. I have not looked into their financials, but I would like to think they're also good. So what is the crisis? A civil war began in Sudan on April of 2023. Extreme violence has turned the capital city of Khartoum into a lawless and bloodied shell of its former self. Several cities have been devastated by immense fighting and countless villages razed. Over 70% of Sudan's healthcare system has collapsed, and preventable disease outbreaks are spreading. Many farmers cannot work, and large-scale humanitarian access is being blocked by armed combatants. The economy has disintegrated, and the prices of basic goods have skyrocketed. Most schools are closed, too. Famine looms over entire swaths of the country and will likely end up claiming more lives than the war itself. There are two primary armed groups involved in the civil war: the Sudan Armed Forces and Rapid Support Forces. I am not going to dig into the complexities of that, but I do want to speak to the human toll. Almost 18 million Sudanese, a third of the entire country, are facing life-threatening levels of food insecurity. Over 10 million Sudanese have been forced to flee their homes, including leaving Sudan already for many of them, altogether for many of them. 730,000 Sudanese children are suffering from severe acute malnutrition. Nearly 20 million children are no longer able to attend school. And conservative projections are that 230,000 children, pregnant women, and new mothers will die from hunger by December of 2024 if the situation does not improve. Because of extreme violence in the region, it has been impossible to determine a death toll from this conflict. There are credible reports that over the first 3 months of the war, up to 15,000 of the ethnically African Masalit people were slaughtered in El Janina, Darfur. That is just one city. More reports of mass killings leak out of Sudan every week. It is likely that the death toll is already in the mid-tens of thousands. That's unacceptable. That should make you mad. It should make you sad. It should make you feel powerless. And then I encourage you to find power and think about the things you can do. Learn more about the conflict. Tell someone about it. Ask them, oh my God, did you hear about what's happening in Central Africa right now? That's fucking terrible. Consider donating to this campaign if you want, but also consider donating directly to either of these charities or looking up other charities that are doing work on the ground. I am a big fan of Charity Navigator, which itself is a nonprofit. They help provide information on financial accountability and how nonprofits are using their funding, how much they're spending on advertising versus the efforts they're making. You can make your own choices about how you prioritize those two things. For me, I am most excited about supporting nonprofits that are really using the money specifically for the causes they promote and not for the promotion of raising money for the causes they promote. But that's just me. That doesn't mean that things like the ACLU and Planned Parenthood aren't doing amazing work too. Okay, now I'll actually get off the soapbox. If you made it this far, holy cow, I'm really impressed. Have a great day.